morning, students. How are you all? I really hope that you all are fine and safe at your places. Students, your Terminal 1 exams are over and I welcome you all in English online class. Beta, now we are going to carry forward our syllabus and we are going to start today's class with chapter 6 of your English reader. The title of this chapter is The Game. The name of the chapter is The Game. It is written by Munshi Premchand. Before going forward, before understanding the thorough explanation of the chapter, let's come to know about the story first of all. So students, The Game is a short story by well-known Indian novelist Munshi Premchand. The story is about Fandan, a boy of 5 or 6 years old, and how he turns an unhappy situation into a happy one. Let's read that. Usually in the village, at noon, the farmers are in the field and the children are asleep at their in their houses because it's noon time and too much hot is there outside. But Fandan has some other plans. He wants to go out. He sneaked out past the designated guardian, the 80-year-old grandma, in search of Jatin. First character is Fandan, who is a 5 to 6 year old boy. Second character who has been introduced here is grandmother. She is actually not the grandmother of Fandan, but she is designated, assigned grandmother of all the children, whose responsibility was to curtail, to limit the freedom of the children. Obviously, if children will be allowed to do whatsoever they want to do, if children will be free to go anywhere, then definitely anyhow they can harm themselves. So for the same, grandmother was appointed. The wares of Jatin. Now who is Jatin? He wants to go in search of Jatin. Fandan wants to go to meet Jatin. Who is Jatin? Jatin is a hawker. And the wares of Jatin sells were legendary amongst the kids of the village. The wares, the things which he used to bring to the village to sell, that were exemplary according to the children of the village. They are sweets and savories of all kinds. What else will children like? Definitely the sweets and savories of all kind. Jatin came from a poor family. Those who can afford get a taste of Jatin's wares, but being poor, Fandan cannot do that. Fandan was not among them. He could not taste the things brought by Jatin. For him, the joy is in seeing the variety of sweets. He was happy even after seeing the varieties of sweets, because he cannot afford them. On this day that he slipped out, he wanted to go in search of Jatin and lead him into the village. He went to meet Jatin. He went to bring Jatin and he wanted to bring Jatin to the village. Fandan gets as far as the Kacha road and does not find Jatin. The way through which Jatin used to come, Fandan also went there to bring him into the village, but he could not find Jatin anywhere. His disappointment is boundless. He was so disappointed because he went to bring Jatin, but he was not there. But then he suddenly sees a broken basket and has an idea. Child mind is there. Definitely he saw a broken basket and had an idea. Immediately his disappointment disappears. This is a very common nature of a 5 to 6 year old boy, that any child of 5 to 6 year, that in one moment he is sad, another moment if he gets even a small thing he is happy. The same thing is there with Fandan. His all disappointment disappears. Fandan picks up the basket, puts some stones in it. See, now he is trying to become the hawker. He took the basket, put some stones in that, covers it with his own shirt, immediately becomes Jatin. A game that is far more enjoyable than just peering into Jatin's basket. He used to peer into Jatin's basket, but now the game which he is playing and was about to make others play was far better than peering into the Jatin's basket. He enters the village like Jatin does, and his playmates join him in playing, knowing without being told the game that is afoot. Fandan did not reveal that what game he was about to play. He just make others also involved in the game. He starts selling his stone sweets and his friends start buying from him, and that became a game for all the children. And that's why it is said in the beginning only that how Fandan converted a disappointed situation into a cheerful one. Now let's read the chapter in detail.
So here is chapter number 6, the game. Students, we are going to read in the story that how a little boy who turns a disappointing situation into a happy one. It was almost noon. The farmers were already in their fields. The shadows of the trees had shortened. The cranes were descending on the field of ripening sugarcane. The sun was bright and air warm. It was noontime. The farmers were already in their fields. The shadow of the trees had shortened. Shortened means to become smaller. The cranes were descending on the fields of ripening sugarcane. The sun was bright and the air was warm because it was noontime. Children were still inside their homes for fear of the hot breeze. The children were there. The children were inside their home because they had the fear of hot breeze. Suddenly the door of a hut was flung open and a boy of barely 5 or 6 peered out. Sitting in the shadow of the neem tree in front of the hut, an old lady, despite her less than perfect eyesight, was weaving a basket. Now students, 2 characters have been introduced here. First is a boy who is barely 5 or 6 years old. He peered out, he came out, sitting in the shadow of the neem tree. One old lady is there who has less than perfect eyesight, but even then she was weaving a basket. Seeing the boy, she called out, "Where are you off to, Fandan? Go inside and sleep. It's very hot outside. All the other boys are still sleeping." When the old lady saw that boy was going out, then she said, "Where are you off to, Fandan?" Means, where are you going? The name of the boy is Fandan. It can be called Fundan also. So she calls him by saying that, "Where are you going? Go inside and sleep. because it was really hot outside. All the other boys are still sleeping. Miffed, Fandan replied, Mother has already left to plough the field. I am scared alone in the house. Now, the old lady said that all the boys are sleeping, the rest of the boys are sleeping, and you also go inside and sleep. On which a little bit angry Fandan replied that mother has already left to plough the field and he is really scared alone in house. The old lady was the designated grandmother of the village, children whose job was to curtail. First of all, understand the meaning of designated. Designated means assigned. She was not the grandmother, real grandmother, beta, you can say, but she was an assigned grandmother of the village children whose duty was to limit, to curtail the freedom of the children. Obviously, students, if the children will be given freedom, then they can misuse also, they can harm them also. So designated grandmother's job was to curtail the freedom. The ground near the water tank was littered with raw mangoes, but no child could go there. They would fall into the tank. The berry trees were laden with red and yellow berries, but no little boy was allowed to climb the tree. He would fall. So, what scenario is there? That water tank was littered with raw mango, but no child was allowed to go because of the fear that children would fall into the tank. Another thing, the berry trees were also laden with red and yellow berries, but no little boy was allowed to climb the tree because he could fall down, he could fall down. The pond looked so beautiful with its clear water and fish jumping joyfully in it. Lotuses were in full bloom, but no child could go near the pond. Why so, beta? You yourself can reply, because he would drown. The children did not like her watching them. Obviously, if any kind of restriction is there, then no one likes such things. And the same thing was there with the children who used to live in that village. They really did not like her watching them. They tried to find ways to slip past her. नजरें बचाकर जाना, छुप कर चले जाना, and children tried to find ways to slip past her. But with the experience of her 80 long years, the old women could see through all their tricks and schemes and nip them in the bud. When children used to do such things, such mischievous things, to go somewhere without being noticed from the grandmother, beta, grandmother was also not lesser than anyone else. She had the experience of 80 long years. She was 80 years old. So definitely she could easily recognize the activities of the children. The old women scolded him. I am here. What are you scared of? Go and sleep or I'll come over. What Fandan excused that he is scared because mother has gone to plough the fields, and what old women replied, she scolded him by saying, why are you getting scared? If I am here, either go and sleep or I'll come over. So definitely what poor Fandan will do? The boy came out of the hut and said, it's time to get out anyway. Anyhow, Fandan wanted to go out. Where will you go at this time of the day? Who would ask? Definitely grandmother. Nowhere, grandma, Fandan replied. The boy took a few steps forward. Grandma put away her basket and the long needle, but before she could get up, he ran out of her reach. Grandmother was trying to stop Fandan from going anywhere, and as you have already read beta that she was weaving a basket, so she could put away her basket and long needle. Before she could get up, Fandan ran out of her reach. The old woman changed tack. Tack means method. Gently she called out, "Don't go anywhere this time, my child." Fandan shouted from where he was standing. He was already out of the reach of the old woman. So wheresoever he was standing, he shouted from there only, "I am going to look for Jatin," and ran away. Now, who is Jatin? Third character is being introduced here. Jatin was a hawker. He had started coming to this village recently. He was sure to come every evening. Instead of money for his goods, he would be paid in grains, somewhat higher than the cost of his fare. Jatin was a hawker who used to visit the village every evening, and instead of taking money in exchange of his goods, he used to get grain or any other material in exchange of his goods, and sometime the material, the grain, was higher than the cost of his fare. Means whichsoever was the cost of the thing, he used to get more than that. The villager's measure inclined towards generosity, so he would walk 4 to 5 miles from the neighboring village to ply his fare. He was well satisfied with his business in the village, and villagers also used to get the things, and that became a generous behavior. That's why he would walk 4 to 5 miles from the neighboring village to ply his fare. Ply his fare means to do the business. His basket was laden with sweet and salty save. We have heard that he was a hawker. What he used to sell, what kind of business was there, why he used to travel, why he used to walk 4 to 5 miles from the neighboring village. Now let's see. His basket was laden with sweet and salty save, til or ramdana laddu, some batasha, khuti, and other local goodies. I know, students, after listening this, your mouth is also filled with water. Okay. It was covered with an old tattered cloth. To the children, it seemed like manna from heaven. Manna means a gift or blessing, you can say. So for children, obviously such kind of eatables were like a blessing, and they would hunger for one glimpse of the basket. Eating is the second thing, but even for a glimpse of the basket, they were dying, they were feeling hungry, they used to hunger. In their childish enthusiasm and curiosity, catching a glimpse of the basket was enough to fill them with pleasure. Just after seeing the things in the basket, they used to feel good. They would await his arrival anxiously. They were so eager to see him come into the village. Although only a few were privileged to partake of his manna. Few were privileged, few got the chance to eat or drink the manna. It was still a source of great joy for the boys to gather around his basket, lift the cloth, and peer at the delicacies sitting like a coy princess. The things which Jatin used to bring, it was a pleasure for all the children to in fact peer into the basket, to even look into the basket. Jatin's arrival created a great commotion, and for half an hour the village seemed caught in a storm. When Jatin used to visit, the village for his business, for plying his fare. Definitely that time was the scenario used to become a noisy one for half an hour. In truth, his arrival was more an occasion for despair than happiness. People who used to be hopeless, there was hopelessness in scenario, in environment, and his arrival was like an occasion. But the children were also excited to welcome the event anew. Definitely, his visit, his comeback to the village every evening was awaited by the children of the village. They waited patiently. Even the sight of sweets, which may not find a way to their mouths, gladdened their heart. Sweets which were there in the basket, might be the children would not get any chance to eat them, but at least their heart used to get filled with happiness. Fandan was one such poor boy. Fandan was also among one such poor boy who used to see the sweets but couldn't enjoy them. Only boys ate the sweets, but he could only stare at them hungrily. No amount of crying, begging, entreating, or flattering could grant his wish. Even he used to cry, he used to beg, he used to appreciate the things of others. Even then, no one used to bring any sort of sweet for Fandan. He was destined for failure, but the failure never dampened his spirits. Although he was poor, but he has never lost his hope. He was full of spirits. Today, Fandan did not take his afternoon nap. Jatin had promised to get raw gari and imarti. In the boys' world, this was going to be a historic moment. They had been waiting since morning for Jatin. How could one close one's eyes? In fact, the menu Jatin had told the children in advance, okay, tomorrow I'll come with raw giri and imarti, and including Fandan, no one slept at that afternoon. How could they sleep? They wanted to enjoy that. Reaching the garden, Fandan thought, it's not evening yet. Jatin is usually here by now, but maybe not. It's still early. Chunnu, Sohan and Kalu are still asleep. Jatin must have reached the main road. He is sure to get the imarti, red and shiny. Now Fandan is thinking that always till now Jatin comes here and he has promised to bring imarti, the red and shiny one, but he has not come. Once long ago, yes, at the Dashera Mela, I had tried imarti. How sweet it was! His mouth salivated at the memory. The longing grew. He had now left the garden behind. There was a wide field that led to the main road, but no sign of Jatin. See, beta, how desperately Fandan was waiting for Jatin, and he recalled that incident when he had tasted imarti once in Dashera Mela, and when he thought of the sweetness of imarti, his mouth salivated at the memory. Now he cannot wait for more, and he goes in the field which lead to the main road, but there was no sign of Jatin. Till now he had not come. For a while, Fandan waited for Jatin at the edge of the village, at the corner of the village. He was excited. He wanted to be the first to greet Jatin today. He wanted to greet Jatin today first of all. I will lead him to the village. Everyone will be so surprised. Such thoughts excited him further. His heart dancing, he moved towards the road, clapping his hands. He was feeling so happy that when Jatin will come here, then definitely I would be the first one to greet him, and not only like this, but I will bring him in the village. And with this thought only, he was dancing and he was very happy. By chance, at that moment, Genda joined them. Now, who is Genda? He was the village dog, both a guard and a plaything for the children. Genda, who was a village dog, he used to perform the duty of a plaything for the children as well as a guard also. When he reached Fandan, he stopped and wagged his tail as if to ask where he was, what he was doing there. With his action, with his wagging of tail, Fandan got to know that Genda wants to know that what I was doing there. Fandan patted him on the head, but Genda was too busy to stop and chat. The dog raised a head and Fandan ran after him, his excitement renewed in the company of his friend. Now he decided to meet Jatin on the Kacha road, but still there was no sign of Jatin. In the previous 2 to 3 lines, there is a meeting, you can say, or the actions between Fandan and Genda has been shown, beta, that Fandan patted Genda, or Fandan ran behind Genda, who is a dog. So such kind of activities are there. Now he decided to meet Jatin on the Kacha road, but still there was no sign of him. At times he imagined he could spot Jatin, but the next moment realized that it was not so. He had illusion after seeing someone else that might be he is Jatin, but actually he was not, he was someone else. The road was full of other sights. All the things were there, all other things were there, but Jatin was nowhere. Bullock carts were lined up, a few ekas and bicycles occasionally passed by too. Ekas means small horse-drawn vehicles. So all kind of vehicles, bicycles, horse cart, bullock cart were there. He even saw a camel and ran behind it for some distance, clapping his hand. But his one desire towered over all these sights. What was his one desire? To meet Jatin. Slowly the shadow lengthened. He was still hoping that Jatin would show up. Hope was driving the time long. Disheartened, he squatted on the road. Tears fell unfettered at the dashed hopes. When he saw that it was growing dark, still he hoped that Jatin would come. But hope was driving the time along. Disheartened, with a broken heart, disheartened, he squatted on the road. Tears fell unfettered. He wanted to stop. He couldn't actually stop his tears from falling down. He sobbed uncontrollably. Obviously, children, if we are also waiting for someone and that person or that thing doesn't appear, we also feel bad. And the same thing was with Fandan. Since noontime, he did not even sleep. Since noontime, he had been waiting for Jatin. He went on the edge of the village also, but even could not find him. How cruel Jatin was. He comes to meet us every day, but the day I come to meet him, he doesn't show up. I won't let him enter the village tomorrow. Now we can see, children, the expressions are hidden in these words. When he used to come, now Fandan is saying, when Jatin used to come to our village, we always met him. But today I came to meet him and there is no sign of him. Okay, I won't let him enter the village tomorrow. His heart constricted with such childish thought. He didn't think that why Jatin did not come. He did not think that some urgency was there. Might be Jatin is in trouble. Might be Jatin is ill. He did not think of such things, but in a childish way he thought that he is not going to let Jatin enter in the village. Suddenly his eyes fell on a broken jhaba, a cane basket on the ground. Despite the gloom of dejection and failure, this was enough to rouse the child. Then what happened? Suddenly he saw that a broken basket was there, and then his mood started being changed. Such in the carefree heart at this age. Generally, it happens in the age of 5 and 6. Children forget the things very easily. In a moment, they are smiling. Next moment, they will start crying. Now they are crying after 5 minutes. If someone will pat them, someone will show their love and affection, then definitely they will forget all the previous things. So, such carefree heart at this age. That's why this phrase has been used here. He lined the basket with some leaves. What he did? He lined the basket with some leaves. He picked up some gravel and stones and placed them in the basket. Now our Fandan, the protagonist of the story, is trying to show himself as a hawker. He is trying to pretend the character of a hawker. So first of all, he repaired the basket by some leaves, and then he picked up some gravel and stones and placed them in the basket. Then he took off his shirt and covered it all. Remember, Jatin also used to cover his things, his sweets with the tattered clothes. So Fandan had seen all the things and he has also covered it all with his shirts. He placed the basket on his head and started walking towards the village. See, now our new hawker is ready, children. No longer was he the boy who was looking for Jatin. He was Jatin. Now he became the hawker. You can see, children. Now he became the hawker. He became Jatin. The same manna from heaven on his head. He called out in the same way. His gait was the same and so was his diction. Diction means pronunciation. If you remember, students, whenever any street vendor comes in our street also, don't you or your younger siblings imitate them, copy them, like any vegetable seller is there or any rag man is there. So in the same way, Fandan did that. The diction, the pronunciation was also same like Jatin used to do. Would he have felt as happy leading Jatin to village as he felt in this moment when he himself was Jatin? See, children, now two things are there. One thing is, if he could bring Jatin to the village, this happiness. Second, now he himself has become Jatin. Which part is happier? Obviously, he is happier after being Jatin. When he himself was Jatin, he was flying, believing the mirage real, the false true. He was in his illusion, in his mirage, and he was happy in that. Happiness devoid of reason, he danced rather than walked. His head held high in pride. He was so happy, he was dancing instead of walking. His innocent face reflected the truth of his belief with such intensity that nobody dared laugh at him. He was happy with his deeds, so his innocent face reflected the truth of his belief that nobody dared laugh at him. He was a carefree child. He didn't bother anything. Such was his demeanor when he walked into the village. The boys heard his call and ran towards him just like Jatin. Fandan was surrounded by eager faces. When he entered into the village, he was already pronouncing the words like Jatin. So all the children thought that some hawker has come, and they came around him with eager faces as they used to come at the time of Jatin's entry. Somebody asked, "What kind of a game is this?" But one heart understood another. Sweets started selling, pebbles became money and stones, and rocks became sweets. These all are the false things which they pretended as money, sweets, and all that. This game was much more fun. In childhood, beta, all the girls especially have played Let's Play Home. In the same way, girls used to prepare an artificial kitchen. Girls used to do artificial things just to play the things. In the same way, Fandan did the things. He showed the things as sweets, as money, and it was a fun for them. Rationality lacks romance, pleasure, and the feeling of weightlessness. When we think about differentiation, when we think about partiality, then such things are killed like romance, pleasure, and the feeling of weightlessness. Munnu handed him a pebble, saying, "Jatin, I will give you an anna for the sweets." Munnu also joined him in play. All the children played together. He gave him a pebble after saying that this is your money. Okay, give me some sweets. Jatin placed a few stones on a leaf and gave it to him. Sweets never tasted as good or as delicious. Now they all were happy, and Fandan also placed a few stones on a leaf and pretended as if he was giving sweets. So that became a playful environment, playful scenario, and they all were happy in their own world. So students, it's a very interesting, very innocent and positive chapter. I would advise you to read it thoroughly and try exercise, which is part A, page number 89 in your book, and try to find out the answers of the questions, which is part B on the same page number 89. Okay students, good luck and read the chapter, do the work. Thank you.